guys, I am Nathan and you are watching Kneel Before Sod. I don't know why I'm just discovering this film. I should have did a review for this back when it came out in May, so now all that's out of the way, we need to talk about this film. Just lay it on the table, let's do this. So here is my review of Kung Fury. That was really cheesy. Not as cheesy as this film. So Kung Fury is a short independent film that was directed by and stars David Sandberg. It started off as a Kickstarter, I think last year, and then finally the project was able to go through and the film came out at the end of May. And in the film, David Sandberg plays Kung Fury. He's a cop from Miami, a good cop, you know, he seeks justice and, you know, thwarts criminals, all that good stuff. However, after his partner is brutally murdered by a ninja, he gains the superpower of ultimate martial arts from a very weird-ass combination of things that happen. I think of one scenario where, like, Power Rangers, when they gain their morphers and they learn martial arts, yeah, that's not even close to what happens here. But during this time, Adolf Hitler comes through this time warp and he enters the present and he kills off the chief of police and all the cops. So to prevent this, Kung Fury has to go back in time and stop Hitler from doing this. Time travel is very confusing. But he does this with style, and so he runs up to it and he has to become Kung Fury. Which he already is, he just has to earn the name, I guess. Now, this film was made to be the most cliche 1980s style martial arts action film. I mean, it has everything in it, all the way down to where some scenes, it looks like the tracking on your VCR is kicking in. You guys remember VCRs? You know, VHS tapes, little black box? Of course you do. It wasn't that long ago where we had to pitch them. 2006, I believe, was when the very last VHS tape was released. So, and then a year after that, we get the iPhone, and then technology changes. The VCR is obsolete. So yeah, sorry about that, I just went on a rant. But like I said, this is the most cliche action film. I mean, the very first scene at the beginning of this film, you see these couple of thugs, they're walking out of an alleyway. This cop car pulls up and asks them like, hey, do you got a permit for those guns? So one of the thugs throws his skateboard underneath the cop car, flips the car up into the air. The thugs pull out their guns and they just waste it and it explodes. And that's literally the beginning of this film. Alright, this is pretty awesome shit going on. It's comedic and it's over the top and it's lovable to a certain extent. The only thing it's missing is cheesy action sounds, which that was one of the best parts about the martial arts films from the 70s and 80s. They're just the cheesiest and weird ass sounds they made. Kung Fury is the biggest badass of this entire film. Well, I mean, he's supposed to be. And he even has that certain voice that you guys know where it's just all very serious and very dramatic. But with a hint of remorse behind that voice. He seeks justice. He seeks power. He is Kung Fury. And it's like that throughout the entire 31 to 32 minutes this film plays for. Now, this film is not meant to be anything great, something where you're going to remember this for the rest of your life. It's more just grab a couple of your friends and you want to see something really funny and cliche, then watch this because it just looks back to the past. Think of how films have evolved ever since the 80s all the way up to now. What kind of action, what kind of plot. It's a throwback Thursday to the days of really cheap CGI. And that was not planned out. I just thought that's a weird coincidence that it's Throwback Thursday. But since this is being made now, everything from past back towards the 80s is brought up or sped up towards to where the technology is now. So anything we can do now that we couldn't apply back then, it's even better. But with that little magic of everything you loved. Fighting in this film is over the top. When you see Kung Fury battling large numbers of Nazis, it turns into a side-scroller beat-em-up. But Kung Fury doesn't do this alone. He teams up with a group of the most random and most badass or random-ass characters you've ever seen. And it's just all, let's throw everything into one film and make it cool. Of course, this film does have a lot of flaws, but I'm not going to hold anything against that because it's not meant to do anything. It's just for enjoyment. I don't think anybody's gonna put this film on their top 5 list, but still, it's worth checking out at least. So in the end, Kung Fury is a comedic action film that pays homage to everything you loved 20 to 30 years ago, and it's just all brought into 30 minutes. Things we don't see anymore are going to tickle your nostalgic senses when you watch this film, and you're gonna remember stuff like, oh, I remember that, or oh, look at that, kind of thing. And with that, I will say this film is definitely worth checking out. Alright guys, that's it for this video, so subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, like the video. You can watch Kung Fury on YouTube, so I'll leave the description and the URL address on under the description box, so go check that out. And if you have seen it, let me know what you thought of it under the comments. I want to hear your opinion. And I will see you guys on the next video. Stay frosty.